Welcome you all to Narayana Group of Institutions Expert Talk. The Narayana Group is one of Asia's largest educational conglomerates where approximately 40,000 teaching and non-teaching faculty provide world-class education for more than 4 lakh students. It's spread across 19 states in India. The Narayana family is home to a flourishing academia with 300 schools, 300 junior colleges, and 8 professional colleges. We also run full-fledged institutes for civil services, coaching centers, and correspondence to address the vocational goals of career-oriented students. So the soft skills department in our group conduct various practical learning sessions for all the students. In that set, one best segment is expert talk. So we have great leaders in the society who possess expertise in various sectors. We invite such distinguished personalities to be part of our talk show, sharing their personal experiences, tips, and other thoughts which can enlighten young minds to ponder in a more productive lines. Today, we have with us a young and dynamic IPS officer, Mr. Anand Kaldakar. He is All India 446 ranker in Union Public Service Commission UPSC Civil Services Examination 2019. He got succeeded in a second attempt. His father name is Viresh, mother name is Sumitra. His father occupation is agriculture and Shamaniya worker. Mr. Anand born on 2nd August 1996. He's just 24 years old. His native is Kadpati village, Jamkhandi Taluk, Bagalkot district. Mr. Anand completed his BE Mechanical in Gokte Institute of Technology, Belgaum. The Kannada literature is optional for males. Mr. Anand completed his primary education, that is first and second class from Bapuji School, Jamkhandi, third to fifth New National School, Jamkhandi, sixth to 10th Tungal School, Jamkhandi, and his PUC Tungal Science College in Jamkhandi. Currently, he is undergoing IPS training in Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy, Hyderabad. Sir, it's our pleasure to have you among us, sir. We are sure your words will certainly help and motivate our students to think about their future in a better manner and also get inspired to be a civil servant in their career. So once again, we welcome you on Narayana Expert Talk. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you
Uh,
so much.
Thank you, sir. Anand, sir, when did you decide to become an IPS officer? Who or what inspired you to do so, sir?
First of all, thank you so much for your wonderful introduction. It's basically not an IPS exactly because it's a civil services examination. As per my ranking and category and vacancies, I got an IPS. But my basic goal is to become a district collector, that is IS. But unfortunately, my rank is below that margin, so I got IPS. Uh, it was my childhood dream exactly. My parents want to see me as a district collector, as a DC. As my parents are not that much educated, they were not completed primary education. They want to see me in a higher position in the future. So they always wanted to me as a higher officer. It's like a childhood dream, but a real inspiration. The real inspiration came after my engineering days. In the year 2017, you know that Nandini KR ma'am, he topped the UPSC Civil Service Examination, that All India rank. That motivated me and that inspired me to take this examination very seriously. After my engineering, I started my real profession. After my engineering, I went to Delhi, and later, after 2 years, I got succeeded, and now I became an IT.
Very good, sir. Very good, sir. So, can you tell us about your preparation for the UPSC exam, sir?
Yes, you all know that UPSC Civil Services Examination is content of three parts. First one is preliminary examination, which is in objective mind. Objective questions are there. Second one will be a descriptive type. You have to write an answer. That is mains part. There are totally 9 papers. in 9 papers, there are mainly 7 papers are very important. And after clearing mains, there is a third part, personality test. I started my preparation after completion of my engineering. That is in the year 2017, I started my preparation. I directly went to Delhi. Instead of wasting time here and there, I directly went to Delhi for preparation. I choose one of the prestigious civil service academy, that is Vajiram and Ravi. And I taken coaching there for 9 months, and I given first attempt there only. But I'm not able to succeed in first attempt. I'm not able to clear the even prelim examination in first attempt. So I came back to Bengaluru. When I came back to Bengaluru, I settled there with my friends and all. And I once again started preparation with a fresh mind, and I recollected all my mistakes and I realized all my mistakes, and I once again started preparation properly. And then I cleared my preliminary examination. Then I went to the second part, means examination, that too with a optional Kannada literature. Then I went to a third part, personality test, and I succeeded in second attempt.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, what is your advice for young students who are aspiring to write the civil service examinations? So, how can they begin the preparations right from the school itself?
Yes, right from the school means first they have to decide whether they wanted to pursue other degrees, like if they wanted to become a doctor, if they wanted to become a good engineer, or if they wanted to serve a nation like a us and like a IPS or IS. They first have to decide. If they wanted to pursue a civil services preparation, then they can start with the school only, school and colleges only, intermediate way. First, they have to decide. In the schools, they can start with the NCERT level books because already they have a state syllabus books like social science. In the social science, already they have a geography part, history part, political science part. They already have all these contents in school level only. They can start with those readings only. State books, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They can read them properly and they make notes of out of it. Otherwise, they can also refer NCERT books because we also referred NCERT books from 6th standard to 12th standard. So first thing you have to do is to refer the basic books of NCERT from 6th standard to 10th standard in the school level. And with that, they can also start to read the newspapers, to particularly Hindu newspaper. I always refer the only English paper, that is Hindu newspaper. Apart from that, they can also refer Indian Express. So to read this newspaper properly, they will take minimum 2 to 3 months because the comprehension level, the words level, the sentence formation, it's very difficult. So they will take at least 2 to 3 months to make easy with that newspaper. So these are the some tips for the initial times who are in school or intermediate like PUC first year and PUC second year. They can do that. And when the student enters the graduation level, if they are pursuing engineering or if they're pursuing medical science or if they're pursuing arts, they can fully fledgedly start the profession. They can start the profession. First, if they are doing medical science, for the students who are pursuing medical science, I will give a suggestion. They can take the optional subject as a medical science only. They can take the medical science as their optional subject. Well, it is one of the best optional subject they can choose because medical students have studied very hardly for clearing their medical examination only, so they are thorough with that medical subject. So they can choose that medical science. So they should perfectly good with that subject. When it comes to engineering students, the role changes because I am also a mechanical engineer and I know how struggle mechanical engineers, all engineers are doing. They not even attend the classes properly. They not even listen to the teachers properly. So if they wanted to pursue a civil services preparation, they can do with the subjects of engineering only. They can choose the optional subject, the engineering subject only. I can choose the mechanical subject for the optional, but I know that how much I studied in engineering and all, so I have not chosen the mechanical engineering subject. So I have chosen other optional subjects like Kannada literature and all. These are the some tips for the beginners. So one thing is the foundation, that is NCRTs and state books. Other thing is the newspaper. They should start with these two aspects, and after the completion of graduation, they can take the coaching in any of the good institutes, so they can clear in the examination in the first attempt or second attempt. These are my some suggestions for the youngsters.
Great, sir. Great. Sir, what is your parents' role and friends' contribution in your journey, sir? Successful journey.
My parents are everything to me. Now I cleared this examination. It's only because of my parents only. The support of parents is very important for the civil services aspirants, because nobody knows the struggle of us, these aspirants who are preparing for the civil service examination. They can just see the results. If we clear the exam, they will treat us like a hero. If they will not clear the examination, they will treat us like anything. So main support and main inspiration, main motivation comes from the family side, that is parents side. So the role of parents is very important, because moral support is very important. Nobody, every aspirant can't able to clear this examination in first attempt only. Some aspirants will take up to the last attempt, like sixth attempt, seventh attempt. They have taken such number of attempts. You can take the example of Kirtana, who cleared this examination with us only. She cleared this exam in sixth attempt. Because of their support from the family and parents only, she had able to clear this examination. So the role of parents is very much important, and I suggest all the parents to support the students who are preparing for the civil service examination. Then when it comes to friends, the circle of friends is very important, because if you are in the wrong circle of friends, then it's of no use. The When I am telling that wrong circle means if you have a friends who are not preparing for this examination, then it's of no use. If your friends also preparing for this examination, then it means you have a good circle, you can have a discussion, you have a good discussion, and you can have a debate on some topics. So you have to maintain a friend circle who have a constant mind, similar mindset and all. So choose your friends cautiously. I'm suggesting to all the students, choose your friends cautiously, because your friend circle means a lot to you, and you will realize in your future.
Right, sir. Very good. So Anand sir, how do you motivate yourself, sir? Because from the students, they learn to be focused and motivated to achieve their goals. First, how do you motivate yourself? Like, how can students learn to be focused and motivated to achieve their goals?
Self motivation is very important thing. As I also experienced the lack of motivation, lack of inspiration in my initial days, because every student has some set of IQs and some set of talent. The motivation comes to the role when one compares with another student, that he is scoring more, he is more intelligent than me. Then our motivation level will automatically drop. So first, don't compare yourself with the other students or other students. You should realize what your capacities are. You should assess what you have, what you don't have, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. You first self assess yourself. That is the first step to maintain the motivation continuously. And believe in your hard work. Every time when I go to the functions and when to programs, I will say one thing: the hard work can beat the talent. Hard work is the must. There is no substitution for the hard work. If you believe in your hard work, if you believe in your work, then don't worry about your results. The result will come automatically. Don't worry about that. The famous Kannada saying is that "Kayak Vitelas," like the work is worth it. Believe in your work. Believe in your hard work. Don't compare yourself with others. The one thing to success is that the perseverance, that is Parishram in Kannada. One is patience, one is dedication. These three things are very important for your results or success or for everything. So first, don't compare others with yourself. Just be your own, and let's hope for the best. I have seen many students who is struggling to get good marks in school level, college level, and all. One thing is that you also saw many students in PUC first year and second year. They just run for the marks. They don't run for the conceptual understanding. And the first student should go through the conceptual understanding. If you went through the conceptual understanding, the marks will come automatically. If you just run for the marks, if you just run for the some 4 to 5 sentences for the answer, then you will not get the amount of such marks you wanted to. So just run for the conceptual understanding, then you can get the more marks, and you can also be self-motivated continuously. These are my some tips to maintain the self-motivation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, can you tell us about something about your officer training, sir? Like, no, which part of the training did you find the hardest, and which part of the training was most fun for you, sir?
Our officers training is consists of 3 parts mainly. First one is the foundation course. After completion of foundation course, the phase one training of IPS officers. It's particularly for the IPS officers. And third one is the district training. That is like a field training. Now I completed my foundation course. That is the first part, FC foundation course. I completed my foundation course in Lavas, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration in Mussoorie in Uttarakhand. That is the best part of our officers training because in Lavasna, in the short form of Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration is the Lavasna. We call it as a Lavasna. The first thing is the place, the Mussoorie. It's called as a Switzerland of India. And the winter line only seen in the 2 places of the world. One is Switzerland, then that is the Mussoorie winterland. So it is called as the Switzerland of India. The first part is the place, the wonderful place, the best tourism place. It's like a paid holiday for us, paid holiday vacation for us. So, and the best part of FC is that Himalayan trek. The 9 days Himalayan trek is the wonderful and amazing experience. 9 days of Himalayan trek. Uh, it's with the professional Himalayan hikers are assisted us, and they also Indo-Tibetan police force are also with us at that time, and also national disaster team also with us during the Himalayan trek, 9 days of Himalayan trek. We reached up to the 14,500 feet. That means when it converts to meter, it's a 4,500 meters height at a sub-zero temperature at that time, and chilling cold, less vegetation at the heights, and snow and all. It's the best experience of the first thing, that is foundation course, that is the Himalayan trek. And one more best experience during the foundation course is that the India Day celebration. India Day celebration is that one event in the foundation course that you have to represent our own states, and you have to mingle with other state candidates and enjoy their tradition and all. So in that foundation course India Day event, I did a small drama of Vijayanagar Empire where I played the role of Krishna Devaraya, and my friend played the role of Tenali Ramana. That is the best part. And also with that, we also danced for Huttidare Kannada Huttabeku song in the Lavasna. That is the best part of the India Day. Later, the most important part of the FC is that the number of candidates who are taking training in the Lavasna has drastically increased. That is, now the only IAS people have to be there in the Lavasna and have training in the Lavasna, that is Mussoorie. From us, that from the year 2020, whole the officer trains, that is including the IAS, IPS, Indian Forest, and IRS and various services, all are invited to the foundation. So the number has tremendously increased to 420, 429 numbers. So now I have friends all over the country. All over the country, I have the friends. All over the services, I have friends throughout India. That is the best part of the FC. And the second part of the training is the phase one. That is now conducting in the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy. It has one of the biggest campuses. It's almost about 300 acres in Hyderabad. It's a totally police training, totally Indian police service training is conducted in Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy. The difficult part is one thing, that the physical fitness level you have to improve. That is the most one of the toughest tasks because we never increased our physical fitness up to this mark, because in our preparation we lost all our physical fitness to totally focused on the studying and all. So we lost our physical fitness there nowadays. When we go to the phase one training in IPS, we have to run for the 5 kilometer without a break. That is the most difficult part. And also with that we have to reduce our fat and all. That is the one of the difficult part of the phase one training of the IPS. Now I have taken leave. I have to mention that now I am on the leave, extraordinary leave. I am now preparing for the one more examination to get a further higher rank to get an IAS. I am on for 2 months leave. Now I have completed these two parts. One is foundation course and phase one training is not yet completed for me. And the third part is the field training. The respective IPS candidates have been allocated respective states. I have got a Madhya Pradesh cadre. In Madhya Pradesh cadre, they will allocate a district. In that district, we have to serve for a 1 year. From the rank of a police sub inspector to the rank of DYSP, we have to serve for the 1 year. Here we can learn the basics of policing from the single police station where PSI handles, then to a DYSP, the below the rank of SP, we have to work for 1 year training. Then after this 1 year training, they will officially promote us to additional SP. After the passing out, but the passing out parade will happen in the Hyderabad. Then we will meet a president in president's house. After that, our total probationary period will come. Total probationary period will be in 2 years, I think, 2.5 years. The probationary period will complete. After this probationary period, we will officially into the public service. These are the best parts of our IPS officers.
Wow, that's great, sir. Sir, as you said, there need to be a lot of fitness training. Fitness is required to become an IPS officer. Like, what kind of fitness test you had to clear to become an IPS officer, sir? What kind of fitness test we need to clear, sir, to become an IPS officer?
Yes. There are no certain fitness. There are no such certain particularly for IPS. There are no certain fitness test for the IPS. There is a overall fitness test. There is overall medical test after our interviews, personality test. After clearing means we went to the personality test to Delhi UPSC building. After our completion of personal test, the next day will be the medical test. It is the overall medical test for every services. In that medical test, there will be our blood test, blood sugar level test, and urine test, and then our blood pressure level test. Then our chest X-ray will be taken. Is there any lung disorder and all? They will check that thing. And after body mass index will be checked. The height to body weight will be checked. Then apart from that, ear and eyes test will be done. And apart from that, when it comes to eyes, that whether he has a color blindness or not, that will be checked. Apart from that, hernia is there or any appendix issues, any major issues like piles and all. These minor checkings will be done. If you have a body mass index greater than 30, if you are more obese, if your body index will be more than 30, then that candidate will be considered as a temporary unfit. Temporary unfit means he is not unfit at all. He is a temporary unfit. Means they will give an extra 6 months of time. In that 6 months of time, he has to reduce the weight. Then he came back for another medical test. That type of medical test will be conducted. If your blood sugar is little high during the first test, they will consider him as a temporary unfit. Then within 6 months he has to control his BP, he has to control his diabetic sugar level and all. Then he may come back within 6 months. He can uh, check his medical fitness in that test. So there is no certain separately for IPS training. If you cleared all these tests without fail, then you will be considered fit for all the services. If you are unfit in several categories, like if you are colorblind, if you are suffering from the color blindness, if you are suffering from the higher BP levels, if you are suffering from the any lung disorder, if you are suffering from the if you are not unable to reduce your body mass index, then you will be unfit for the several services. Like you will be unfit for the IPS, you will be unfit for the Indian Railway Protection Force, and you will be unfit for the Indian Revenue Service Customs. These three are the uniform services. So you will be unfit for the uniform service, but you will be fit for the other services like IAS, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Revenue Service IT, you will be fit for these things. But when it comes to IPS training, within the IPS training, they will make you hard. They will make you more fit. That is the difference. You can pass your fitness test easily. Don't worry about the fitness test and all. And one more thing, I am sorry, I'm forgotten to explain. The minimum height for the IPS is 165 centimeter. Minimum height required for the IPS is 165 centimeter. In Karnataka and all, for the PCs and the police sub inspector KSI, the minimum height required is 168 centimeter. But when it comes to IPS, it's just a 165 centimeter. So almost everybody can be of that height. So considering the overall India, considering the Northeast people, the height is reduced to 165 centimeter. And when it comes to the ladies, I think it is around 160 centimeter, 160 or 158. That is the height. These are some of the medical criteria for the total civil services test.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, you said, while preparing this UPSC examinations, no, to become an IPS officer or IAS officer, it must be very stressful, no, sir. Like, how do you manage the stress, sir? Any tips for our students, sir, to manage
Yes,
stress?
the stress level is always on the higher side only when we are preparing for the civil service examination, because more than 10 lakh people will apply for the preliminary examination, but the vacancies are just 700, 800. When you convert it to percentage and all, it's less than 0.01%. So the stress level are always at the higher side only. And when it comes to the NEET students, when the students who are like to pursue the medical MBBS and all, they are also a heavy stress level because the competition is very high nowadays. So best part to reduce the stress is to the physical workout is the best option. The famous sentence is that is sound mind in a sound body. So when your body is fit, automatically your mind will be fresh and automatically you have a lower stress. The best option to reduce stress is to become active, continuously active. Am I audible, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. In our times, the my some suggestions are that usually I go for the walk or a run in the morning. That is the one thing to stay active whole day. And apart from the running and walking, usually in the weekends and in the weekdays, I used to play shuttle badminton and table tennis. So stay active in any sport. If you wanted to play cricket weekends in the weekends, or the play shuttle badminton, table tennis. Stay active through any games and all. And with that, one more thing is that the meditation is the best. That is the dhyana. Dhyana is the best thing to manage your stress level. Whenever I feel stressed, I keep 5 minutes of concentration by meditating and concentrating on my breathing and all. So these are the three steps. One is the meditation, and second one is stay active with any other sports, and one is daily walking or the daily running. These are the three things you can manage your stress.
Oh, that's great, sir. Sir, what are your hobbies? What you do in your free time, sir?
I already told that shuttle badminton is my favorite game, and table tennis are my favorite games. In both the games, I have participated in the state level during my UC days. So these are my two good hobbies, and I mentioned these two hobbies in my personality test also. And apart from that, playing these two games, I usually watch movies continuously. Every week, I used to watch one or two movie in theaters only, like parallel movies from the Satyajit Ray's parallel movies, Pather Panchali, from such type of movies to present movies. I used to watch such type of movies. Apart from the watching movies and all, in my free time, the paintings, oil painting I used to do. and also acrylic painting I has to do in my free time. These things usually relieve your stresses. So I usually associated with these such type of hobbies, and these are very helpful. So I suggest many students and many aspirants to do such a hobbies in your free time. Play games and do whatever you like. Like painting, you can do. Watching movies is also a good hobby. Or listening to songs and cooking. Or also, if you are having a farms in your villages, involving in agricultural activity is also a good hobby. So involve in some 2 to 3 hobbies that will make you stress free, and that will make your life good.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And one more last question, sir, from our side, because now completely this pandemic situation, you know, students are they're not going outside; they're just sitting in inside. So, what kind of advice you can give to the students? No, like no, just keeping fit, and especially during this pandemic, how they want to spend their time. Just give us some idea about it, sir.
I think for some students and some aspirants, it's like a blessing in disguise situation. Like that, you are staying in the home only, so you have lots of free time with you. You can utilize all that free time. You're not going to school at all. You're just watching some online class videos and all. And some students are watching online classes for the sake of watching. Just they stay unmuted and they close the video and they are doing something unless of listening to the classes and all. First of all, don't do that things. Just try to listen the classes properly in those in these type of pandemic situations, because all the teachers and lecturers are doing hard work, enough hard work to reach to their students with their online classes and all. Then what you are now doing is also such a hard work. You have collected my number, and you are have taken my contact, and I have given some time for you, and you have invested some time for the sake of students only. So please, the students, utilize these things. I think from my district, nobody is doing such things. I'm seriously telling, honestly telling, nobody is doing such things. But the Narayan Group of institution is doing a tremendous work. Please utilize such type of things. And this pandemic is not affecting not only you students, it's affecting the whole students of the country. Every student is in the same condition only. Nobody is in a good condition. Every student is in a bad condition only. Everybody is in home isolation only. Everybody is in quarantine only. So utilize this time properly, and to stay active and to stay fit, at least go for a walk in the morning at the time, early morning, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. That too within your home area only. You can walk for some 2 to 3 kilometers for to stay active continuously. Or in the terrace, you can do skipping, you can do yoga, you can do meditation. For this pandemic, just eating and staying in home makes sick for everyone. So do some physical activities like skipping, push-ups, pull-ups, or yoga. You can do on terraces. Don't go out unnecessarily, because everyone is doing their hard work. As I am a police service, as I belongs to Indian Police Service, I know the struggles of the all the policemen outside. To control this pandemic, every policeman is doing hard work. And in Bagalkot district, not Bangalore, in Bagalkot district, also there is no bed available for any patients. Yesterday, I tried too much hard to provide a ventilator bed for my friend's mother, but not able to get a bed for them, and she expired yesterday night. So the situation is very serious nowadays. So don't go outside unnecessarily. If you go outside, go with a mask. Be a responsible citizen. When you come back to your house, sanitize your hands properly. Wash your hands with the soap and all. Be safe and eat a healthy. Don't try to eat junk foods. You are in a home. Don't make burger. Don't make pizzas and all. Take a jawari food, take a roti, chapati, and eat plenty of vegetables, fruits, and all. Try to be active. Try to be safe and stay in home and stay healthy. Be a responsible citizen. You have to follow the government guidelines, and with that all, you can enjoy with your parents and with your friends in the home only. So try to be talk to your friends continuously, and try to do some good works. Try to entertain your hobbies like painting, like singing songs, making some videos, to chat with your friends. You can do all those things, but health is wealth. Everybody is know that the situation is very critical. These are my some suggestions to all our students and aspirants.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Your valuable tips, your valuable suggestions are very inspiration for all our students. So that's all for today, all the viewers. So that is Anand Kaldagi, the IPS, the youngest IPS officer for you. In just 24 years, sir has cracked the UPSC exam in just a second attempt. So those who are aspiring for the civil services, you can take the tips from Anand Kaldagi, sir. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much for spending your valuable time. I know the busy schedule and you are preparing for the higher examinations also. So all the very best, sir, for your future endeavors. So thank you,
Thank you.
students. Thank you, all the
Thank you
viewers.
so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir. Thank you so much for wonderful opportunity for me. And thank you, Narayana Group of Institutions, for doing such a great work. I wish all the best for all the students and aspirants. And all the best. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It means a lot, sir. Thank you very much. So that's all, viewers. That's of the end of the talk show. Again, we will come back soon with another expert talk. So thank you. Stay home, stay safe. Signing off.